Yo, what's good? Mike D checking in here. Yo, I wanted to and shout out to Shannon Sharpe, man. Shannon Sharpe had Big Daddy Kane on his show recently. I watched it yesterday, and there was so many things and so many gems that Big Daddy Kane dropped on Shannon Sharpe's show. And we're talking about lyricism. He was talking about, the industry and how it works in modern times, excuse me. And he even correlated vibing music to like disco and things of that nature. And I love how Big Daddy Kane views the game. He doesn't view things from a authoritative standpoint where it's like, you know what, it's my way or the highway. I know everything. He really breaks it down and understands that each generation views things differently. Even when he broke down freestyle. And I love his definition of freestyle. Now I know in the era that I came up in, freestyling on the mic was based on you coming off the top of the head, and that was considered a freestyle. Anything that was written down wasn't a freestyle. At least that's what we in the 90s were taught. And he even talks about how that definition changed. But I like his definition of where freestyling came from and how freestyles can be written raps. He was like, look, when you out there spitting your rhymes or whatever in the park or to whoever in the showcase, you have your rhymes about, the ladies, the rhymes about, some street shit or whatever. You got rhymes about politics and the political aspect of things. And if you had a rhyme where you weren't talking about anything, that was called a freestyle. It was free of style. And that makes perfect sense. And I think that, rules and definitions in that way are very important, especially when they come from our elder statesmen and people who were there when these definitions took shape and these terms took shape and became something. I don't think that it is in our right to actually change them. Now, adding on to is cool, right? Like you can still do a freestyle that's just, off the top of your head freestyle, but I was taught wrong in saying that something written down isn't a freestyle. Now, when it comes to that as well, I do think if you're repeating the same verse over and over and over in different settings, that's kind of a no-no as well. But we can have a whole nother video on that. I want to talk about Big Daddy Kane's perspective of Biggie and Biggie's career and Biggie's talent level. He said if Biggie lived, he believed that Biggie would have been the greatest MC ever. Let me find that clip real quick. And it's funny because I've said things similar, and I'm just viewing it as a fan. This man was around. This man saw the growth. I mean, Mr. C was, for people who don't know, rest in peace to Mr. C. Mr. C was Big Daddy Kane's DJ, and he was also the DJ that got Biggie's demos to Puff. So they have that connection there. But let me let Kane talk real quick.
I've been around Big twice,
Okay.
but we had 3 phone calls. It was always funny, too, because we didn't have a direct connection. It was my DJ, Mr. C,
Okay.
who would call and put us on the phone together.
Mhm.
And when he clicked Big in, first thing he said, the real B.I.G.
The real B.I.G. I love it.
We just laugh and whatnot. Then he tell me what's on his mind, But I mean, he was someone that I had so much respect for, man, and I thought was super talented because I've seen a lot of MCs, develop, their style
Mhm.
and become better throughout the years. I saw Biggie do this in like a year.
Yes.
In like 1 year, I seen him go from here to here lyrically. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Right.
So I was like, had he lived, I think he would have probably been the greatest MC ever.
Wow.
Listen. We've had many MCs take leaps, and I think I did a video on these gigantic leaps from album to album. I mean, I think Mobb Deep made an incredible leap when it came from Juvenile Hell to the Infamous. T.I. made an incredible leap, in my opinion, from I'm Serious to trap music. Common with Can I Borrow a Dollar to Resurrection. And even with Wayne and what he's done in his career. But the Biggie leap, in my opinion, and this is where Kane continues on. It's not in this clip that I found, but I watched the whole interview and should go watch the whole interview. It's a whole bunch of gems being dropped. He was saying that Mr. C kept coming to him, was like, and I guess early on when Biggie had party and bullshit and stuff like that, it was like, look, do you hear similarities between you and Big? And, Kane's like, I don't hear it. and records kept coming out or whatever. It's like I don't hear it. He said when he heard the One More Chance remix, the Stay With Me remix, he said he called Mr. C and said, I hear it. That first things first, I pop up, freaks all the honeys, dummies, Playboy bunnies. Man, listen, you can hear even for the people who got Ready to Die or bought Ready to Die off Jump, or even if you got it after the fact and didn't even live through those times, you can hear the parts of Ready to Die that are from the Uptown sessions and that are from the Bad Boy sessions. And for people who don't know what I'm talking about, Big was signed to Uptown while Puff was still over there. And when Puff got fired and started Bad Boy, he took Biggie over with him. You can hear the early Biggie records that are on Ready to Die and the later Biggie records that are on Ready to Die. I would be willing to bet you that Big Papa was probably one of the final records that they recorded for Ready to Die. I would be willing to bet you that Give Me the Loot and stuff like that was probably early on. And that So You Wanna Be Hardcore, all that stuff that's early on stuff. You can hear the growth. Saying all that to say, these things were probably done over a 6, 8 month period. But Biggie was growing so fast and at such a rapid pace, he was getting better and better and better. You could even hear him getting better to the point where I hear that Victory was the final verse that he ever recorded the night before his passing or his murder, excuse me. And you could hear him continuously getting better all the way up into that point. The Shaq, You Can't Stop the Rain verse. Like, he's getting better and better and better, like damn near with each appearance, with each song that he's recording. And that's one of those things that I'm with Kane on that. You don't really hear in a bunch of artists like that. That normally doesn't happen. You know what I'm saying? Like you hear on the first album somebody might be raw or whatever. On the second album they're a little bit more polished. Biggie just kept getting better at all aspects. Like when I heard him on the Get Money remix, we've talked about that on this channel before. It's like Frank Wright, the Desperado, used to rock the all black Movado, the all black El Dorado, all that in a bottle of Don P. You can't harm me, I keep the army. That Brooklyn in the house part is like, without a doubt, I'm the rapper with clout. Everybody yap about, check it out. Guns are bustin'. Problems with my wife, don't discuss them. Coops the lid jets, I lust them. Fingerprints, I dust them. Recent address. He's sliding on these records, man. And he wasn't like he was always nice. Even if you look at the Fulton Street freestyle that he did, like you'll probably find on YouTube, and where he's just rapping like I think he's like 7, 18 years old. I mean, he's dope, but he's raw. You know what I'm saying? But he just kept getting better and better and better. Saying all that to say, I see what Kane's talking about. I've always said this from a skill set standpoint, from a stylistic standpoint, and sounding comfortable on every record. That was the other thing that made Puffy and Biggie so great. Like, Biggie could adjust to anything that Puff was throwing him. And in my personal opinion, I don't think anybody in Biggie's class, and I know it's the controversial statement of this video, I don't think anybody in his class could have made that One More Chance remix in 1995. Nobody. Nobody could have been spitting like that, been that clear, that comfortable, and made such a commercially viable record that had all the things. You know what I'm saying? This had lyrical skill, this had style, this had flair, this had radio playability, this had commercial viability. It was everything. Now, the one thing that I feel like Biggie lacked in that could have prohibited him from being the greatest, because we see what Nas is doing right now. I think that Nas's subject matter has always kind of put him, and his writing creativity has always put him in a different class. I don't know if we would have gotten the socially conscious Biggie, or Biggie who would have given you the weight that some of the Tupac records were giving you. But if we're just looking at it on its face and looking at it on the surface, and you're talking about a complete MC who has it all from voice, flow, to being able to adjust to any type of production you're talking about, yeah, I do see what Kane is saying. And I can believe that if Big would have continued on with this level of growth and growing at this extreme, rapid pace, I think he would have eclipsed everybody that was in his class and people that were before him. So I'm with Kane on that, man. I think that's an incredible assertion, especially for somebody who is as legendary as Kane. From a skill set standpoint, if we're just talking straight up skills, Kane's easily top 10. Easily. You know what I'm saying? Like what he brought to the game at the stage that he brought the game brought it to the game, excuse me. I mean, people ain't fucking with Kane. Just on the mic, straight up, is just a raw, no pun intended, MC. The only thing that gets in Kane's way when it comes to, some of these conversations with people is just the catalog and, the fact that he didn't have as lengthy of a catalog as some of his peers and some of the people who are a little bit after him. But if we're talking just straight up skills, Kane's right there. And for him to say that about somebody like Biggie, he sat there and watched grow from the very beginning and had him around from the very beginning, that goes a long way. And again, as a fan, I see it as well. But let me know what you guys think in the comments section. Um, if Biggie lived, where do you think he would be? You know what I'm saying? As far as like on the top whatever list. And what do you think a third and fourth Biggie album sounds like? See, that's one of the what ifs that I need to do. I want to do a Biggie what if and I want to do a Tupac what if, but I want to do it in a very, very extensive um I won't say elaborate, extensive. I want to make sure that the research and everything is very intricate on that one because those are, to me, the most incredible what ifs in hip hop history. Those things change everything. But hit like and subscribe. I will see you guys soon, man. And like I said, in the comment section, let me know where you guys think Biggie would have been all time had he lived. All right. Talk to you guys soon. All right.